Welcome to the Death Engineering guided tour of Ultima Underworld 1, the Stygian Abyss. And we're going to basically do like a guided tour of the game. We're going to start off with the first level, and we'll try to get through one level per video, maybe even 2 levels per video. So we're looking at like a 5 or 6 video series. We won't have to solve any major puzzles in the game, as we're pretty much at the end of the game already, but we will visit all the highlights and maybe even find a few things we didn't discover on our first playthrough. Alright, well, let's go have a look and see how the Stygian Abyss looks today. Alright, well, looks like we are just wandering through one of the many rooms. Looks like we've got some gold and some evidence of what appear to be combat. Looks like someone probably found themselves in a tricky spot. Oh, what do we have here? Some buttons on the wall. Let's go ahead and see what these buttons do. Button, another button, and another button. Well, I think I remember the pattern of these. Look at that. 1, 3, 2 to get through the door. We'll sneak through the door here. Now, we don't know who's following us, so let's go ahead and close the door on the way out. Oh, it closes automatically. Look at that. Well, okay. This is basically the interface that we're going to be exploring the game with. You can see in the central part, it's like a 3D perspective. On the right here is our character. We have our items and our weapons. We have a backpack. We have a map as well. I think we're at level 3 here. Yeah, down here. But we're going to actually start from level 1, because we want to have the full experience. But before we get underway in our tour, let's go and find out how we wound up in this situation in the first place.
At last, you are asleep. For 3 nights, each attempt to rest has brought you starting from your bed in fright, with no memory of what horrified you so. With a sickening sense of deja vu, you begin to dream.
Treachery and doom. My brother would unleash a great evil. Britannia is in peril.
Sure that the ghost can take you to Britannia, you allow yourself to be drawn to him.
A visitor, and from far away indeed. Were he not dead, I'd suspect my brother sent thee. No matter, thou shalt serve to draw the hounds from the scent.
Below, a creature heads toward the dark woods, a thrashing sack slung over its massive shoulder.
What hast thou done with our lord's daughter Ariel? Dropped her below to an accomplice, or wager? Well, he'll nigh escape us, and when we bring him back, you'll both hang.
Several tense hours later, you are dragged before Baron Ulmric. Ignoring you, Ulmric questions his captain.
What news, Corwin?
Forgive us, my lord. The foul creature escaped. A score of us gave chase, but it fled into the Stygian Abyss with poor Ariel. We were attacked, goblins and worse, my lord. Only 3 of us survived.
I see.
The Baron turns his hard grey eyes upon you.
I was warned of thy coming. Last fortnight, an apparition of an old, haggard man appeared in my dreams. Guard thy daughter well, it warned, for an evil one shall come to steal her away. I posted guards at Ariel's door, but still you took her from me. They say thou didst drop her to a troll waiting below. What sayest thou?
You explain that you are the Avatar, and that you are innocent.
Whether thou speak truth or falsehood, I cannot say. Stories tell of the coming of the Avatar, but years have passed since he visited here. If thou art truly the Avatar, then perhaps thou canst offer hope. None here can survive the Stygian Abyss and rescue Ariel. My mind is set. Corwin shall take thee to the abyss. Return here with my daughter, and thy innocence shall be proven. If thou dost not return, Avatar, then thy lies shall have brought thee low.
This be the foul pit's only entrance. Once it is locked, none can pass. I will shut thee in and stand guard till I hear Ariel's voice from within. Otherwise, 'twill remain shut forever.
And there we are. We have learned a little bit how we wound up in the pit here. We were sent here by the king, who believes that we had something to do with his daughter's kidnapping. And we are basically assigned to come in here and save her, or if we don't, we're assumed that we were guilty and lying about being Avatar. We're going to go ahead and light the place up a bit here. We have our spell ready to cast. There we go. We're not going to use too many torches unless we need to set something on fire later, but for now, let's go ahead and have a look. This is the door that we just got locked into. The locked doors to the abyss, and there's a note over here, I think it is. We attacked the entrance with all manner of tools, but it gave not a hair. Basically, that means you're not going to get out of the game this way, so don't even bother to try. There are some doors later on in the game that you can bash your way through, but that's not one of them, and that's not the way out of the game. This is a volcano, so we'll be actually leaving through the volcano exit through the top, I think it is. Well, let's have a look and see what we can find here on the first level. When we first arrive here, we can pick up a few of our initial weapons. You learn some of the game mechanics we saw earlier, how you can remotely open and close doors. Some of them require pulling of chains, some of them are buttons, some of them require other means. And you can see here that it is a fully 3D environment. Some of the rough floor here. I believe there was a good item hidden down there when we first joined the game. Well, let's go ahead and have a look and see what was behind this door. Around the corner. On the first playthrough of the game, there is a silver tree planted here and glowing. You see the standard of the silver sapling, and you're able to pick up the tree and it turns into a seed which you can take with you and plant in dirt areas and other places in the game. And when you come across something that you can't overcome and you lose all your health, you are able to respawn at the seed. It's a pretty neat game mechanic. Another neat game mechanic here, you can see that the bricks on the top here don't quite line up right. That's an indication this is a secret door. Go ahead and push on it and it opens up for us. Come around the corner. And there we have, I guess, the first jumping puzzle room. There's a button in a little alcove over there which opens up this door over here. We're actually just going to levitate over. We're wearing a ring of levitate. We don't even have to make the jump. We'll just fly right over here. Walk into this room here and we see a shrine. A shrine is a place where you're able to use mantras. Mu-Am is an example of a mantra. Our character is pretty much fully leveled up, so can't really advance any further than he already is. But as you walk around, you can learn these mantras here. There's the Mu-Am. Across the hallway over here. Sumra, the mantra of courage. And around the corner here, Om-Ka, the mantra of love. Some things like assessing and repair skills would be learned from Om-Ka, and then battle, like attack and defense. And the neat thing about this room is that you can see the shape of the shrine here, where you use the shrine to level up your character. Also matches the shape of this room. It's a nice little example of how artistic this game really is. Alright, let's see if we can make these jumps. There was a time when I was able to make these, but this game and this area are known to be kind of tricky jumps. But we'll take off this ring of levitate. Do kind of a running jump here. Barely made that one. There's still a bat flying around we don't want to run into, and then we jump through the air. Alright, made that one. And there's the button that you can push. Unlock the door. We're not going to try and make that jump. We're just going to try to press this button here. Oh no, we fell. Well, that's okay. We'll just go ahead and put our ring of levitate back on. Float back up. We were going to try to use that pole to press the button, which is... Now that door is locked over there. We were going to try to use the pole to press the button, which is one of the other more interesting game mechanics. You're having to use materials that you find in the game to solve some of the puzzles. And this is kind of a marble display room that holds a... Oh, we don't want to get bit by that slug there. This display room holds an orb that when you read it at the bottom, it says, peering into the crystal ball, a vision of a strange world appears. Bizarre creatures float through space, a green path flanked by a black void on the other side runs off into the distance. Somehow you know the path leads to Britannia. Yeah, that's important for an end game, and first time I played through this, I didn't really pay too much heed. Luckily, you can process of eliminate which one you need to go on, and we'll probably have a look at all three of those paths when we get to that stage in the game. That guy's not going to follow us down. And we can swim in this game. You do have a swim skill. The swim skill will let you determine how long you can swim, and if you swim too long, the screen will start to flash blue as you start to drown, and then you eventually lose your health. It's not a good scene, so we're just going to go ahead and cast Water Walk. We'll just walk across the water, like any good hero, of course. Oh, and look at that! Our water walk just expired, so we're back swimming again. This lurker here is probably not too happy to see us, but we're just about where we need to be. All right. Oh, what do we have here? I think this is just an empty box. Well, that was kind of an unusual way to get here. We kind of wound up at the entrance to the, let's see, which one is this? The Green Goblins? Yeah, this is the Green Goblins area. There are two factions of goblins down here, the Greens and the Greys. We're going to go visit both of them, but we kind of got here by a bit of a distractive tumble down that jump we were trying to make earlier. So this is what we did. We were at this shrine room here, and we were attempting to make a jump over here. We didn't quite make it, so we kind of swam, and we water walked this way here, and water walked this way, and this is where we are now. We're going to go up and explore this area here, the Goblin's lair. But first of all, let's go visit Braggot. He's pretty much the first guy you run into in the game. He's pretty cool. He's an outcast. At the beginning of the game, this is basically the first encounter you have with anyone hostile. There are several guard stations here, both the green and the gray goblins, and neither one of them really want to talk to you, so they had to go. But we eventually made friends with both the goblin leaders. This is the area of the outcasts here, and here our good friend Braggot has been hanging out here. He was the first one who told us how to use our sleeping bag, and this is kind of a neat area because it teaches you a little bit more about the jumping that is required in this game. There's quite a bit of acrobatics. And here goes one jump there. Of course, that was a pretty easy jump. Let's jump here. Let's jump across here. And if you're equipped, for example, with a Ring of Leap, you can make this jump here. We're going to make our way over to the leader of the outcasts. His name is Hagbard, and I imagine that the leader of the outcasts would have to be a pretty benign kind of a character, because he's only on level 1, and everyone here on level 1, they seem to be pretty mellow. This is here's Gullik, friendly outcast named Gullik. Of course, he's harmless. There he is. There's our friendly outcast named Hagbard. Let's drop in and see how he's doing. Good day to thee again, if day it is outside. Surely thou art one among us who was condemned by the pious oath Baron Ulmric. We of the outcasts are the survivors of his intemperate justice, fugitives from the perditions of the Gobs. What are these Gobs of whom you doth speak? Aye, the goblins. They be the greens and the greys, and they are deadly foes. They make our lives more difficult still with their vendettas. What is the nature of their feud? None can say. Their conflict seems to have begun at the time of the Great Collapse, when the civilization of the Under-Earth fell. We knew only that their leaders have sworn never to agree on anything. I thank thee, thou hast helped me greatly. Well, thanks Hagbard for giving us a bit of a summary of the goblin existence here. The greens and the greys, definitely the worst of enemies. It's great to see that the outcast area is still doing well. I believe you can actually fish in this little fishing hole. Here is something that I'm going to pick up, because I am not carrying a pole, and we are going somewhere where we could use a pole. Now, of course, we have magic, because we're at the end of the game character here, and we could just use telekinesis to push buttons that we're not able to reach, but it's fun to go ahead and use the pole. We made our way past the rat. I think there was Braggett up there. That was graceful. Alright, let's go meet the goblins. Thanks, Braggett. And if you hear some rumbling a little bit later, you might want to cover your ears and perhaps grab an Acme umbrella. I don't have the heart to tell him what happens at the end game sequence. Alright, we're back here again at the Grey Goblin compound. Here's our good friend Drog. You again, what you want now? I wish to pass through this portcullis. Okay, but you be careful, green goblins not like messing with. Well, thank you very much, Drog. I promise I will not be messing with anybody. And there he is, King Vernick. Fair greetings to thee. For what reason hast thou intruded on our court? I have quested long to drink from the fountain of thy wisdom, O Pearl among kings. True, I am rather wise, come to think of it. What dost thou wish to know? How came by you that gorgeous cloak? It does suit me, doesn't it? I had it made especially for me. One simply doesn't find work like this underground. Well, perhaps some mountain folk do make a few nice things, but they tend toward metals rather than clothes. And of course the seers, the ancient illuminated seers of the Moonstone, they call themselves, they do nice work too. But they generally tend more toward the literary than the sartorial arts. Well, we could continue talking to this guy, and He would pretty much give us the entire history of the game, actually. He tells us about everybody on every floor if we're able to sit here long enough and compliment him continuously. It was interesting that he mentioned the ancient illuminated seers of the Moonstone, because we do have a Moonstone right here. That's pretty handy. And the ancient illuminated seers of the Moonstone have an extremely large library. They've got some of the most interesting books, and we're going to be stopping off at the Seers Library a little bit later on. But for now, let's go meet the other Goblin faction. There we have our good friend Ebb. Now, Ebb is he's pretty reasonable, but I think we're going to actually find another way through this portcullis. We don't need him to help us. We're just going to go ahead and use this pole on a switch. And we'll just go ahead and give ourselves access. Thanks anyways, Ebb. Here's Jakar. We definitely need to talk to him again. Hey, who this? What you do? I have come to admire the architectural splendor of thy people's settlement. What you say? You like to explore, walk around? Don't explore too careful. Could end up someplace you don't want to be. I've seen that happen. Is this area dangerous then? Us Greys, we never do it on purpose, haha, but at night I hear something scream and then splash, something splash and then scream, then in morning, one of us not here. Dangerous privy it is there. Watch out if you... hee hee. Well, I will be careful. Yes, a good idea. Don't look out and splash. Aye! Gone, gone, gone. Hee hee. Yes, you be careful. If Annie's still alive from splash, I bet they not be too happy. You be on your toes. Thank you, I will be. So what Jakar there is referring to is this privy here. This is not just a regular bathroom, that is kind of a pit, and that drops all the way down to level 2. We're gonna go visit the king here. The king actually really is kind of an idiot. The one who's actually in charge here is his wife, Richikal. I have given thee permission to talk to my husband, and that is enough of my time for thee to waste. Speak to me no more. All right, we will go talk to your husband. Can you just maybe excuse us a little bit? So he's got a normal bath here. He doesn't have like a pit. His resonator, what may I do for ye, my friend? I need thy help. What'd you want? I seek knowledge of Cabarrus. Human fool named Cabarrus convinced many of our people to come here and colonize this accursed place. When his dreams were shown to be mere folly, he killed himself by taking poison and left us to our fates. Tragic. Indeed, 'tis not fair, still we must persevere. Was there anything else? No, I thank thee, farewell. So here, I think, is at the heart of the argument between the two factions of goblins, because the Greys here, they're pretty sure that Cabarrus took a long walk off a short pier, whereas the Green Goblins think that the Grey Goblins actually took care of him themselves. Perhaps we'll never know. Well, it was a nice visit here with the goblins. We are actually going to take advantage of that little tip that Jakar told us, and we are going to jump into his toilet. This is going to take us down into level 2 in the middle of combat with a pretty tough baddie there. First, let's head up here. Alright, well, the lurker is continuing to keep a close eye on us. I think this is a perfect place to wrap up this first installment of Death Engineering's guided tour of Ultima Underworld The Stygian Abyss. Thanks for watching, Internet, and have an awesome day.